All right, let's go to Senator Dave McCormick. Senator, welcome to the Travis Mannion Foundation Day with Dom Giordano and all of our hosts here. Senator, the military in your life, West Point, those values, have you worked with the Travis Mannion Foundation over the years on any of those things?
A little bit, yeah. I had a chance to get to know Tom a bit and, feel a real connection to Travis because he was a wrestler at Navy and obviously a real hero. And so I haven't been deeply involved, but involved enough to know it's a wonderful cause and organization, and was proud to meet that team.
So, Senator, we're very interested. The president coming here. I know Trump loves professional wrestling. After all, he was in a couple of the main events. There may have been a hair match there, I think, at one point. But the college wrestling, and Penn State is one of the biggest dynasties in the history of sports. And you were a wrestler. To me, I saw high school wrestlers cutting weight, spitting into a cup in my class, I might add, to do that. Well, that is such a difficult sport. It seems like no matter how good you are, one false move and you could lose.
Yeah. Well, I wrote an article which came out today in the Wall Street Journal, which it basically said, when I watch wrestling, I see what's great about America. And for me, wrestling changed my life. And Pennsylvania is the mecca of wrestling. We've got, as you noted, Penn State University, which is probably the greatest college of sports dynasty in history, 11 of the last 13 national championships. But the thing that's very special about wrestling, it's just you. You're on the mat for 6 minutes. There's no place to hide. And those who pursue wrestling, it's incredibly hard work to be prepared. It takes a lot of courage to step into the arena. It's a sport that requires mental toughness and resilience to overcome, and it's a sport where you respect the person your opponent is a fellow warrior in pursuit of winning and dominating the other side. So I'm going to the Nationals finals tomorrow night with President Trump in Philadelphia, and we'll talk about how great wrestling is and how much Pennsylvania exhibits those characteristics.
All right, I've been sitting on this question all day, though. Be honest here, Travis Mannion Foundation. Maybe I could set a match up. You versus Jim Jordan. I think you have superior, looks like ability, upper body strength. But Jordan was undefeated, as he said on my show.
Jordan was incredible. I mean, he wrestled at Wisconsin when I wrestled at Army, and we were probably 4 or 5 weights apart. But
that's okay. Come on,
incredible competitor. And he came to Pennsylvania to campaign with me. And Jim Jordan in Pennsylvania, I mean, he's got a real following. So he's a good friend, and he's going to be with us tomorrow for the national finals. And
so he
is.
Okay.
Great man. Yeah.
Now, are there any Democrats? It seems like Bernie Sanders would be a hell of a wrestler in his day. Any Democrats that you think were wrestlers that we might have a bipartisan match?
I don't know. There must be.
I mean, maybe not.
Listen, if you could organize me against Bernie, I would take that. I would take that one. That would be one for the ages.
I was thinking.
What about Tim Walz, Senator? Would you take him?
That's where I was going next. That's right. Yeah, Tim Walz talking tough.
I'll take that one too.
All right. You know what? That might be arranged.
A lot of people are saying, why? Why is Trump coming to Philadelphia? Why? I heard this on the so-called mainstream media. People saying, why would President Trump want to come here with Senator McCormick? What's going on? Why are you going?
Well, he's a wrestling fan. He went to the national championships last year, or maybe 2 years ago in Oklahoma. If you may recall during the campaign, he had a campaign event, and the Penn State wrestlers were in the audience, and they came up on stage. So he's a fan of wrestling, and I think he likes the part of college wrestling. I think he likes the part because when the match is over, the winners come over and at least in Oklahoma shook his hand. So I think he's a big fan, and my guess is there's going to be a lot of happy people in Pennsylvania. You know, the wrestling community got behind my campaign. I would say when you win by 15,000 votes, there's a lot of people you can thank, but the wrestlers were a big part of it. And even though we were kidding about party, I think it's one of those sports that transcends party, and you've just got lots of great, tough Pennsylvanians that have learned about resilience and courage on the mat in Pennsylvania gyms. I said in my op-ed, I grew up wrestling in places like Shikellamy and Shikshinny and Selinsgrove and Schuylkill Haven. You know, you can't find tougher kids in the places that grow up in those towns.
Put that in the next ad. That's Pennsylvania when they come at you on that. Don't put those towns in there.
Woo.
Let's get that out there from the station.
You know, we saw the headlines,
Yes,
Senator. Penn State superstar Carter Soroki, as well as others, they have in the headlines just now reacting. They're thrilled.
That Trump is coming.
They're
and
thrilled the
McCormick
president is coming.
Exactly. And Jim Jordan.
Yes, they're absolutely thrilled that you'll be there. I think, one of the themes that I think we were talking about throughout the day is we're allowed to celebrate men and boys, manly men. And I think part of male athletes, I'll say this as a mama boys, Zioli's going to tease me, but I'm really serious, that we're now allowed to say, look at these awesome, strong men. This is terrific, and we can celebrate that.
Yeah, well, I think you're right. I mean, it's the ultimate test, and I love that about wrestling, where it's the original sport. It was in the Olympics, and it really is a test of courage and strength. Now, interestingly enough, women's wrestling, which wasn't around when I was in college, is one of the fastest growing sports too. So
right.
As long as we have the men wrestling the men and the women wrestling the women, then I'm all for it. And that's a big deal. But I do think it's a celebration of those basic traits of strength and courage and willingness to get out in the arena. And, we don't have enough people, in my opinion, enough young people willing to step up and get into the arena. And these young wrestlers from Penn State and from across the country this weekend are doing just that.